bud. What you doing? Knocking my stuff over, huh? Is that what you're doing? You're such a good little boy. Even though you try and get into everything, bud. No, back on my lap? Okay. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So since I did a video kind of showing you what I have been working on, I figured I would show you what I've actually finished. One of those projects, by the way, I did finish, so kudos to me. If you see any cats walking around, I've got Zeus and Artemis in here with me, so we're gonna get into everything. So my first finished project is my little fingerless gloves here. I did follow the pattern for the glove itself, but the thumb hole I just kind of made up on my own. Just did something that was simple and quick and easy. So I finally finished these. I'm super excited to use them once it starts getting cold because it's going to be really nice to use while I'm working at my computer. And I'm excited. They fit great. The thumb holes are a little big. They're a little big, as you can tell. Like there's quite a bit of room on this side. I probably should have, decreased a little bit, but it's fine. It's meant to be comfy. It's meant to just keep my hands mildly warm while it's pretty cold. You really got to play with her tail right now, bud? Oh, cats. My next finished project is this bag here. Oh, there we go. Got it. So I just made some straps, made it just a simple bag. The goal was to hold some yarn in there, keep it in storage. Ow. Zeus, you don't have to play with everything. He's like 7 months old, so he has to play with everything, of course. But this bag was just made from Bernat blanket. I had a bunch left over from a project I did like 3 years ago, I think. Yeah, I think it was like 3 years ago. I made a blanket for Christmas for somebody. So this brown and white Bernat blanket color, I actually made slippers with a long time ago. I think it was like 4 years ago at this point. So I just threw that on there because I didn't have very much of that left. But it's a nice simple bag. It's good for just putting in some yarn so that way I don't lose it. So my next finished project is actually something I'm going to be gifting for Christmas this year, which is this shawl here. I will definitely get a better shot of this because this is very large. Really, Zeus? Oh boy, he sees the strings on the shawl. So this is the Free Yourself shawl by TL Yarn Crafts. Oh, cats. So it's got these nice little tassels, and in the pattern, she does call for some beads. So I went to, I think it was Michael's, and I was looking at beads, and then I found ones, and I was like, oh, these are perfect. But the holes looked like really, really small, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fit them through. Like, they looked small enough for thread, and that was it. Thankfully, they did fit. So I did this little combo of wood. It was this lighter wood, then this almost perfectly colored bead right here for that, and then a darker wood at the bottom. So I think the tassels turned out great. This is made from, it was like universal yarn. It was, I think I have one ball left. I'll just throw in a picture here of what it actually is. I just know it's universal yarn. There's tweed. Because it is 100% wool, it is a little bit on the scratchy side. So that was like the only thing I was a little worried about. I think it is superwash, but it's still got a little bit of scratchiness. I found I'm pretty sensitive to wool, so yeah. It's gonna be a little difficult for me to make things out of wool, but that's fine. Nice, Lucy. What are you doing? Besides getting into everything. Really? My chair is apparently very fun to play with. So next we have my very first ever crocheted garment, and it's this sweater. It's a little heavy, but that's fine. It's just single crochet essentially throughout the entire thing. So I do have a few mistakes on this one. It was my first one. I did the decreases a little bit weird on both of the sleeves, so they're a little like lumpy on the side, if you can tell. It's on both, like where I did the decreases, you can very clearly tell because it's lumpy. But overall, I had a lot of fun with this. So my big mistake on this one was when I did the cuffs and then the bottom, what was supposed to be the bottom ribbing, which, as you might be able to tell, is not ribbing at all. Yeah, I read the pattern wrong. So the first time I did it, it was flaring out to like here. It was going like this. And I was like, why is it doing that? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't look like what the picture looks like. Why is it happening? So then I redid it, and I was just like essentially combining 2 stitches into one throughout the entire thing. And that did help a lot. It's not as flared anymore. And then I was just so annoyed that I had to redo all of it that I just took like 3 weeks off. When I came back, I went back to the pattern. I was looking at it and I was like, hold on, didn't I just watch a video about ribbing? So I went back and I watched that video that I had just watched, and that's when I realized my mistake. So my mistake was that I was doing a chain up for the ribbing, and then I was going down the back loop, and then I was going back up and then in the back loop and going back down in the back loop. I wasn't turning my work. But thankfully for the beautiful collar, which is like a rolled collar, I did do it properly. So this is what the ribbing should look like. It's nice and stretchy. It's really pretty. I love that you can fold this. It's great. I absolutely love it. The ribbing's great. And at that point I was like, no, I'm not going to redo the cuffs. I'm not going to redo the bottom ribbing. I don't care enough. I'm happy with the way it looks. Gives it a little bit of character too. Like, just going up and down the back loops without turning does give it a really cool look. It's like faux ribbing almost. It's really cool. So I do like it. Overall, it fits decently. I do still have to block it. I think it'll fit a little bit better. I did the armholes a tiny bit small, so it's a little tight around there, and I'm hoping blocking will kind of open it up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to move around in. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how my first ever sweater turned out. Way better than I thought. The final finished project is technically 2, but they're the same thing, sort of, so I'm counting them as 1, even though that's technically 2, is these large amigurumi that I made, little animals. I made a zebra and I made a fox. My first ever attempt at making amigurumi. I will throw that out there first. Oh, there were so many mistakes made with these. So I made this zebra here first. I do like the hair. I do think the hair gives it a nice little flare look. But I made this first. The ear does not like to stay facing the front. It likes to go up like this. Probably just how I, sewed it in. It's fine. This particular arm, very, very, very loose. This one's not as bad. And the legs are decent, though this leg is a much better shape than this one. And then the big mistake was I had looked up how to make essentially an invisible color change, and you can tell where I switched very easily. It's unfortunate, but it was my first one, so I wasn't super worried about it. And since I put them in the back, it does help a lot. But yeah, this one had some problems. I'm not good at combining the pieces at all, but the head on this one is so much better than the head on this one. I don't know if you could tell, but when I brought it over, it was already going like this. So if I just pull this string right here, I can pull it pretty tight and make it a lot tighter. And then it slowly recedes back in, and then I have to do it again. But overall, this one went better. I think it turned out better, though I think I also overstuffed the tail a little bit so you can really see the stuffing coming out. I bought these 2 big bags of stuffing because I was like, you know what, this is going to be so much fun. I'm going to learn how to make amigurumi. I'm going to make a ton of them. I made 2 and I gave up. So clearly I didn't do very much. I'm probably going to end up using the stuffing for like pillows or something like that. So it's not going to go to waste, but definitely am not using it as much as I thought I would be. Obviously the big mistake with this one is the head. It's not good. It's not attached well. I'm not good at attaching the limbs. That's what I figured. I had bought a book. I was just like looking for crochet things, and I saw this book that was like cute amigurumi critters or something like that, and I was like, yeah, it sounds like so much fun. I've always wanted to make them. I read the reviews. Most of the reviews were saying it's not the proper techniques to make amigurumi. Like, there's so many other issues with it, but I just wanted something simple, something fun, something hopefully easy. And of course, you saw the results. not as bad as it could have been. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show you what I've actually finished, since it kind of seemed like I had a million projects and nothing finished. I technically have, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 finished projects. Who would have thought? That's pretty great. So I just want to thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in for the next one. I do plan on showing an update video on my crop sweater. I've made significant progress. I'm kind of hoping to hold out until it's all done and then finish that video and then just post that, because I think that'll be a little bit better. But I'm really happy with how it is right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.